in exchange for James Harden. The Cavaliers also had to attach a second-round pick to the deal to make it happen. We talked about this earlier today on UCSS. If you want to hear all of our thoughts, you can go find them. We did an Ultimate Cavs show this morning. We talked about it on the actual UCSS show, but it is now official. Shams confirming the Cavaliers have sent Darius Garland to LA in exchange for James Harden. The Cavaliers are currently in LA because they play the Los Angeles Clippers tomorrow night, go figure. So we actually may see James Harden play as early as tomorrow for the Cavs, considering he's already in the city and already at the arena in which the Cavs are playing. When I first heard the rumors this morning, I was immediately against it. I don't like the fit. I don't like necessarily the player. I don't necessarily like his playoff track record. I don't necessarily love how he would fit into a Kenny Atkinson offense. And then you think about it a little more, and I just have come to the conclusion that at the end of the day, the Cleveland Cavaliers felt more comfortable taking a risk on James Harden with his iffy playoff past over Darius Garland with his current iffy toe. He had the right toe injury. Now he's dealing with a left toe injury. He's still not fully healthy. That's why he hasn't returned to the court yet. However, you're banking on a 36, 37, and 38-year-old James Harden over the next couple of years over a younger Darius Garland. I can talk myself into this deal. I didn't love it at first, but I can talk myself into it. It is the reality of the situation that the Cavaliers are in championship or bust mode right now. That's the way the organization has to operate. You saw the report earlier that Donovan Mitchell may ask out if the Cavaliers flame out of the playoffs early. And if that is the reality that you are facing, you have to do whatever you can to make sure you avoid that this postseason. And the Cavaliers clearly felt, and I'm not reporting this, I'm speculating, but based off this move, they clearly felt that they could rely more on James Harden in the postseason than they could on Darius Garland and his injured feet, his injured toes right now. They don't trust him to get back to 100% health, or else they probably don't make this move. Now, James Harden is having a great season. He's averaging 25 points, fringe all-star. Like, he's a very, very, very productive regular season player. His numbers drop in the postseason, but the Cavaliers are making the bet that they can get the most out of James Harden, a way teams in the past haven't been able to, and that he'll come into Cleveland, he'll pair up alongside Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley and Jalen Tyson, assuming those guys are around. I don't think the Cavs are done making moves. I'll get to that in a second. But they're making the bet that James Harden can come in, fit into their system, spell Donovan Mitchell, take some of the responsibility in the playoffs, the playmaking, the ball handling, all that off his shoulders, and give them a legitimate secondary option they can count on night in and night out. For all the flaws James Harden has, and he is by far not a perfect player, he's durable. He only misses games when he decides he doesn't want to play. He very rarely misses games due to injury. Like, very, very rarely throughout his entire 17-year career. Very rarely has he missed games due to injury. It's always been because he has decided for one reason or another that he just didn't want to play that night or was quitting on a team. And he's quit on 3 teams in the past, and you can even make the case he may have quit on Los Angeles right now. We'll wait to see how this all kind of plays out in the coming days, and as more information comes out, that's remained to be determined. But the reality is the Cavs now have a backcourt that includes James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, Sam Merrill, Craig Porter Jr., Lonzo Ball. If you want to include Jalen Tyson as a guard, Jalen Tyson. Did I mention Keon Ellis? And you're getting Max Strus back in a number of days, which means they have too much guard depth. They still need some front court help, which is why I don't think the Cavaliers are going to be finished making any kind of moves. They still don't have a roster spot currently for Naquan Tomlin, so that's something that they have to open up. So another trade's coming one way or another, regardless, whether it's just a simple Lonzo Ball salary dump or something else along those lines. They need to open up a spot for Naquan Tomlin to be able to continue playing on the Cavaliers roster. And then secondarily, I still think they're going big fish hunting. I'm telling you guys, I would not be surprised if James Harden isn't the biggest name the Cavs end up with by Thursday's 3 p.m. deadline. I still think Giannis is significantly in play. Those conversations are happening. I can tell you that for a fact. Those talks are legitimate. Wendy reported earlier that Anthony Davis could be in play for the Cavaliers. I don't necessarily know how that deal works, but he's in play. And Koby Altman and company, I don't believe, are done going big game hunting. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you guys. This is not the only move the Cavs are going to make before Thursday's 3 p.m. deadline. Partially because they have to make one to get Naquan Tomlin on this active roster. The other reason is I don't think you make this Harden move without a secondary move in place. I think this is the first of a multi-step process to completely reinvent this Cavaliers roster before the playoffs. The Cavs have been better of late. They had been playing better basketball, but they must not have felt that this core four, this current iteration, was good enough to compete with the highest teams, the best teams in basketball. And I'm not sure if James Harden's going to be an upgrade. He's played better than Darius Garland has this season. He's been a better player in his career than Darius Garland has been in his career. The playoff flaws are legitimate. The does he love basketball? Is he a hard enough worker? All that stuff is legitimate. But he's durable. He's here. He can take some of the playmaking load off of Donovan. And maybe it unlocks something in Donovan, because I don't think the Cavs make this move without consulting Donovan first. Based off the reporting from Wendy and Tim Bontemps that Donovan could ask out if things don't go right. On top of the fact that in the NBA, you always consult with your star players first. I don't think this move happens if they don't have full approval, basically, from Donovan and his team, and Donovan doesn't say, yeah, I'd be willing to play alongside James Harden. We can make that backcourt pairing work. So if Donovan's down with it, then you got to kind of trust the Cavaliers, knowing that if their star player has signed off, he'll find a way to make it work, even if from a stylistic standpoint, it doesn't necessarily match up in a perfect capacity. We'll talk about this more tomorrow on UCSS. This is not the Cavs' last move. I think it's the last move for tonight. I think we'll go into UCSS tomorrow without any necessity to recreate the show to talk about another move after this before 11 a.m. tomorrow. But buckle up, guys. The Cavs have a lot more work to do. They are not done. And we're going to be in for a fun next 42 and a half hours, give or take it, 41 and a half hours. Should be fun. Enjoy the deadline. James Harden is a member of the Cavaliers. He could play as early as tomorrow night. And at the end of the day, I'll just leave you guys with this. The Cavs are banking on the fact that James Harden's reliability in the playoffs, knowing that he will be there, was a more reliable option than Darius Garland and his faulty toes right now. They're banking on a 36-year-old point guard over a 26-year-old point guard. And if Darius Garland for James Harden, if you told me before yesterday that one team would have to add a pick, I said the Clippers have to add a pick to make the Cavs do it. The reality was the Cavs had to add a second-round pick to send to Los Angeles to get James Harden. To me, that says that either A, Darius Garland's toe is not healthy and that's toe insurance, or B, Darius Garland's trade value is even lower than I thought it was, and I already came into this situation not thinking it was particularly high based on some conversations I had with people across the league. So that's the truth. That's the reality. We'll see how it pans out. But James Harden is a Cavalier. And right now, a James Harden-Donovan Mitchell backcourt is one of the best in the entire NBA.